we had uh we had some really kind of funny news. We talked about it a little bit on stream yesterday, but I want to talk about it again today because it seems like the market is finally realizing it. So yesterday on stream, uh, we were talking about how there's a lot of like this whiplash dealing with everything that the White House is saying right now, and we are we are seeing right now that I this is going to be this is going to sound so silly. We're seeing right now that Iran never had talks with Trump, and they have denied having any kind of conversation with him, and they are not accepting any kind of negotiations from the U.S. So, as it turns out, that was a big fucking lie. Yeah, I know. Aren't you guys surprised? It turns out that was a big fucking lie. So today, because it looks like everything is going to continue, oil is back up over 90, and Nasdaq is really just kind of resting on this big liquidity level that we had drawn out yesterday. This is kind of that tipping point, right? That we were talking about being at, um, right here, right before we had a big nasty gap down. So we're pretty much at that same spot again, and things could get a little bit crazy here. So I just want you guys to be mentally prepared for today and for the coming week. Uh, Still at a point where just a little bit more selling pressure can really have some nasty effects, right? Like this is the situation where we're looking at all of these longs potentially just being liquidated. And you can tell that this isn't retail that's been buying this up for months, that's been buying the top. I mean, sure, some retail is in this mix, but this doesn't move like this without heavy institutional flow. Institutions are fucking bagged. There was no war in Iran that was priced in up here. Like they're fucking bagged. And if this drops just a little more, like really kind of below this area, that's where we could see potentially a mass liquidation. And if you've never been in one of these mass liquidation events, um, well, all that we have to do is go back to April of last year, and I'll show you what that can look like. So this was due to tariffs. And while I don't think that we would have like the same kind of reaction, like that's what realistically could happen, right? Is something like a 26.5%, red over the course of a few weeks. Like these events are not quick. They normally have a few big, decisive, quick moves in them, but overall, like it takes time. And it takes time to resolve it all. So I want you guys to, please be very mindful of where we are. And I'm not saying be afraid. Okay. I'm definitely not saying be afraid, but I'm saying understand the situation that we are currently in, and understand the situation that institutions are in, where they have invested a ton on margin, borrowed from each other, and the second that one of them starts really failing and getting liquidated, it can cause this knock-on effect onto all of the others. So we're going to wait patiently and we're going to see what happens. But things are looking really interesting. And it's hard to look at this structure and be definitively bullish. Like I'm really kind of neutral heading into today. If anything, I'm expecting us to be a little bit red, and that is simply because, uh, of the news. Simply because of the news, and yesterday's pump kind of like got us right back into the bottom of the little range that we've been stuck in, but it didn't do much else.
I just don't trust the candle because that has just no volume to hold anything.
This one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about that on stream yesterday. We were like, man, like this thing is pumping on fucking air. It's like a bike pump, dude. It's just pumping fucking air. There's no substance in it. None. None whatsoever. So, again, like I don't know how much that pump yesterday really did. Like it was good for the overall markets. Things went really well. Like you could see most of my watch list was green except for Anna and Sing, and this isn't like my whole watch list, but it's what I have right here on TradingView that we normally talk about in the mornings. And Anna is super, super green today because all of those fears surrounding you know, natural gas shortages and oil shortages have come back. And it's funny that they went away, right? Like everyone was thinking yesterday morning, "Oh, it's over." And it's like, how many times have we heard that this war would be over, right? First it was 2 weeks, now it's going to take a little longer. And oh, by the way, we're having peace talks. And then the other side that we're supposed to be having peace talks with is like, yeah, no, dude, we're not talking about that shit. It's not happening. So, now we're kind of in a weird situation that I'd rather not be in, but here we are. Here we are. So just don't trust the first little pump. Okay. We're gonna be doing all this live, so you can come hang out with us. But like just don't trust the pump. Make sure that there's actually something happening. Like yesterday, we spent a lot of time on stream just waiting because we were kind of waiting on that other foot to drop. Um, and today it seems like it kind of is. So just be aware of the situation. Things could get fucking brutal real quick. Okay. And as much as I like all of you, I don't want to see you get licked. Liquidated, of course, is what I meant by that. I don't want to see you get liquidated. Unless you're shorting my stock, in which case I might liquidate you. So don't short my fucking stocks. Okay? Okay, Icarus?
No, I short your stocks.
Oh. Get fucking wrecked. I'm doing good, hey. How you doing? Yeah, see, Uzi said he's going to liquidate on Icarus, and I find that to be very fun and very interesting. And I think that we should discuss this topic further, but later. You know, we could talk about this in free chat all day today.
No, please.
Okay, we won't do that. We won't do that. But realistically, like this as the same as Nasdaq, right? It's like this on all the indices. This pump was for fucking nothing. It was really just like on low volume. There's not much happening, right? This is a 15-minute candle with 4.76 thousand volume. The next candle has 6.99. So you could see that this got lifted up and kind of propped up. And I think that a bunch of shorts entered here. So, we've given back like what 60% of the gains from yesterday's opening candle already. We haven't even really started fucking trading for today. We haven't even really started fucking trading for the day. Like things are at a real interesting spot. And I'm kind of just waiting to see what ends up becoming of all of this. And I don't necessarily think it's going to be good. I mean, I don't know. We were kind of tentatively bullish yesterday because we were green in pre-market and seeing like a little bit of strength, and then when that big green candle came out, I was like, okay, well, obviously like we're up today, but but I don't trust that shit. I don't trust that shit. How far back did I go on the daily? Relatively far. Give me a second and I'll show you.
I mean, you gotta realize, like on the daily, you gotta go so far back so you have actually lines to draw. Because we are in uncharted territory.
Yeah, pretty much in uncharted territory here. So give me a second. I'll go pull that up for you guys again. When we are on the daily, I literally just went back to January because it didn't really make sense in my mind to go all the way back to September, like the beginning of September, mind you, to get to the last time that we were down here at this price. Right? Like this at this point 6 months later, that's largely invalidated. Are there still long positions from back then? Sure. But those aren't really the ones that I'm worried about getting liquidated and margin called. I'm worried about all of this getting liquidated by force because that's what's going to really move this shit. So we ended up just basically taking the lows here and drawing those out, and then using the volume profile and getting all of these other liquidity levels. And as you can see, there's a lot more liquidity kind of in this area, the area that we rejected yesterday and just completely fucking fell through the bottom of today. So we're entering like a really illiquid area, coming down below this 2488, and we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens there. What do I think about the same guy that put terrorist attack insurance on the Twin Towers a week before 9/11? Just put it on a building in LA. I I didn't know that, and I don't think much of it at all. I don't think that I don't think that anything on the West Coast would really be the target. And a lot of people have been saying like, oh, but it's closer. Like they can they can send fucking missiles over. I'm like, dude, have you seen Iran's military? Like these guys aren't hard to fight because they're like a really good fighting force. These guys are hard to fight because they're fucking hiding and they go run into the mountains. Like it's the same shit that happened in Afghanistan. It's hard to fight them because they're hiding and you don't know who they are, right? That's when war becomes almost more like policing, right? Having to go door to door, having to constantly check and keep your ear out for, you know, so and so has explosives. Like it's really hard to fight against a guerrilla tactics, right? Or an army using guerrilla tactics. I mean, it's how the US won the Revolutionary War. We didn't go fight the British out in open fields. That would have been suicide. So what did we do? We hid in the woods and we hit their supply lines and we ransacked them and raided them. Right? So now we're kind of getting that same thing. It's difficult to fight someone when you don't know where they are or who they are or what they're planning on doing. But I'm not concerned with like a missile or drones coming and hitting the West Coast simply because their technology is designed, like all of their rockets and everything like that is designed to hit Israel, which is close as fuck. It's not meant to go over an entire ocean. sleeper cells. Okay, so see, now that would be the biggest thing to worry about, right? Would be like a group that is already here and that is hiding. It's the same thing as with 9/11. Like those guys were in the US for a number of years um, before anything was ever even talked about or anything even ended up happening. Just a little quick update too on our beloved Riley. And if it's not your beloved stock, then you're missing out because this thing has some serious fucking potential. We're seeing a little bit of an expansion in price action, which is really nice. We keep coming down into this demand zone and getting bought right back up. So that is showing that this is indeed a demand zone. We have this little gap down here that happened down to this liquidity level, and we ended up, trading right back up. This was during the announcement of the Iranian war, right at the end of February. Right, this is Friday, February 27th, and this is March 2nd. That's a Monday. So, aside from this little thing, we've just respected this demand zone, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. So, despite everything else eating shit in the market, I do have something that I am bullish on, which is Riley, and of course, Chevron has just been doing fucking wonderfully. Um, yeah, yeah. So things are looking a little bit rough. There are still good value longs for those of you that are actually interested in longing quality businesses. And as far as the futures go, everything looks pretty cooked right now. So we'll see if something changes soon. Um, kind of wouldn't hold my breath on it. There's a lot of incentive for institutions to keep this propped up at this current point to make sure that they don't start getting liquidated. But the question is are they able to actually do it?
I don't think they are.
I don't think
Like
that they are. Like,
on New
so
York Open, I can see that this entire candle gets all the way sold down.
I wouldn't be surprised in the least. And not only that, but we are seeing a lot of reverse repo operations from the Federal Reserve coming out. And for those of you that don't know, reverse repo is basically this liquidity injection from the Federal Reserve, and it it is usually referred to as like the lender of last resort, right? So you don't have anyone else to borrow money from. You're having real big liquidity issues. You're an institution that is critical, and if you fail, you're going to cause the market to crash. So you hit up the Federal Reserve and you're like, "Hey man, look." Hey bro, you're scratching your neck like a little like a fucking crack addict. Hey man, look, yo, I swear, man, I'll let you hold some of my stock. You give me some money, I'll pay you back tomorrow. That's basically the way that reverse repo works, right? Is they end up letting the Federal Reserve hold stock overnight. They get a bunch of cash for it, and then they pay it back like the next day or when they can. So, when we're seeing all of that money borrowed through the reverse repo operations, we're seeing more submissions than ever before. See, I wasn't trying to sound like that. I was trying to sound like a crackhead. Is that a crackhead?
In the movie, yeah.
Okay, I don't know the movie, but I wanted to sound like a crackhead. That was my whole deal. So, when we see that big spike in borrowing activity there, that should throw up a few red flags for us and say like, "Oh, hold on. Why do these guys need to borrow a bunch of money? Why?" Well, the chart should tell us why, right? The chart is going to tell us why. It's because this looks fucking cooked. It's as simple as that. This looks terrible. And this little pump, like, yeah, sure, it wicked up here, cool. We still couldn't even get through Friday's sell-off. Like, we didn't close the day above this red candle. So, I'm not too bullish. I'm bullish on like a handful of things, and none of them are anything that we're going to be trading this morning on stream, right? None of it is the futures. I'm not bullish on fucking any of that at all. So, we'll see what happens. If we have to readjust, then we have to readjust. Just again, make sure that you don't get faked out and trapped by that first green candle. If we end up getting an early green candle, just because we're not in really a position where it's to be trusted. Like, sure, you could scalp it a little bit, but don't go heavy if we end up getting it, and just be very, very aggressive in taking profits, because the ultimate direction of this is very likely down from here. See, now, Icky, that's what I was going for. I was going for Tyrone the Crackhead. That's what I wanted. I don't know if I do a good crackhead voice. But yeah. So, things are looking pretty grim. Kind of really interesting stuff going on. We also have, all right, Uzi, have a good night, brother. We also have some really interesting kind of concerns coming out about private credit. So these would be companies like Apollo Asset Management, Blue Owl, that kind of stuff. And basically, these companies are like a graveyard of all of the bad deals that banks have made. Right? A lot of times it gets sold off to private credit. Private credit inherently, because of their business model, invest in really, really high risk businesses. And I was talking to one of my buddies, who's a fund manager out of New York, or not yesterday, over the weekend. And he was basically saying that Blue Owl specifically could be the canary in the coal mine. And for those of you that don't know that saying, basically what it's saying is, like, it is the first sign of danger, right? Like, it could potentially show us some unforeseen dangers ahead of time. And these guys have seen massive sell-offs. Like, here, you know what? Let me pull up this chart for you while we talk about this.
I might be right back. 3 minutes.
All right, sounds good. So this has sold off from its highs, and mind you, it was pretty high up in January, right? It was sitting in the mid 15s, mid 14s to mid 15s, right? In this little range. And we have seen just a massive drop off, because as the broader market has taken a downturn, these guys, all of their very, very speculative and tech heavy holdings have not done well. And they're charging less interest on their loans than they used to. And they're bagged on fucking everything. Right? We could even just go back in time, back to like February. These guys were trading up at near 25. This is February of 2025. So, a year ago, they were 2.5 times, bigger than they are now. And they've done nothing but buy. And there are a bunch of really, really big issues within private credit in general right now, just because of, the nature of the business that they do. They lend and take positions in really, really speculative businesses They buy a bunch of bullshit from the banks, right? Because they don't have to report their holdings in the same way as I guess like your traditional institutions, right? These guys are more like alternate asset managers. Um, and they look super cooked. They look super cooked, and it's not just Blue Owl. It's mostly Blue Owl, but it's not just Blue Owl, right? Because we could also go look at Apollo Global Management, and these guys have had a really, really similar story, right? And the chart even looks the same. And the reason that the chart looks the same is because they're part of the same sector. They're influenced by the same things. Their holdings are very similar, and they're included in a bunch of the same ETFs. But I think that anyone could take a look at this, and we could look at it since the beginning of 2026. Like, there is not a damn thing about this chart that is bullish. Okay? I am not bullish in any kind of way on this chart, or really on like what these businesses do. So I want you guys to be aware that there is a bit of a private credit problem, and some have even speculated that it could almost be like a little mini 2008, right? If these guys end up going under, and it causes like a knock-on effect to your more traditional institutions, I I really don't think that these private credit guys are going to get the bailout. I think if anything, it would be the big banks that would end up getting bailed out. And for those of you that don't know, whenever a really, really critical bank is potentially going under in the US, they always get bailed out. Okay, they always get bailed out. So a lot of you, I'm assuming, are a little bit younger, and you might not remember 2008. But when 2008 happened, okay, almost every bank, except for really all the major banks except for JP Morgan, um, you know, they were caught up and bagged in a bunch of really, really bad instruments, and they got rid of as much as they could with all of those like the collateralized debt obligations, right? And all the equity swaps around mortgage-backed securities. So they got rid of as much as they could, and they unbagged themselves as much as they could. But when the music finally stopped and everything started selling off, um, they ended up insolvent. A lot of them were insolvent, and it actually took some really insane measures by the U.S. government to prevent a total economic collapse. And what we got was, instead of a total economic collapse, was a near total economic collapse. So it took ages. It took like 5 years for the market to recover from that. You had half of a decade that was just dead money. Like, if you were sitting in the market, you were not happy about it at all. Things were really, really rough. If you bought in 2008, you had to wait till like 2013 to actually, make any kind of money back. So, when we're looking at this historically, traditionally, when we have institutions, major institutions that are behaving very weakly, they end up getting bailed out. I don't think alternate asset managers really count so much for that, but if an alternate asset manager or two ends up going bankrupt, it could almost have again, right, a knock-on effect, kind of like Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns, right? Those guys went out of business, and suddenly you have Citibank being affected, and Bank of America, right? Merrill Lynch, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, all of these guys ended up struggling as a result, because they're all always invested in the same shit. And right now, that same shit is speculative tech and AI. and you could tell that they weren't really prepared for it, because there were, you know, a bunch of institutions that were short silver until they got fucking squeezed out at the beginning of the year. So it's not like these guys are rocket scientists. Like, don't get me wrong, Wall Street has some of the best and brightest, but they still get it wrong. Like, they still get it wrong, and they still are prone to human emotions like greed, over leveraging themselves, you know, a lot of AI infrastructure. Wait, let me read that. Heard something about a lot of AI infrastructure being loaned out through leveraged Bitcoin ETFs. Yeah, so the thing is, right, if you really want my honest fucking truth, right? Honest opinion. Um I I I could tell you right now that one, ETFs are like a giant graveyard of crime. And if you want to learn a little bit more about that, you know, let me know, and I can share some videos with you. But essentially, in order to understand ETFs and the role that they play, we need to understand what an ETF is. So an ETF is kind of like a mutual fund, right? Um, but instead of saying, "Hey, we got this big pile of money and you pitched in 2000," we say, "Hey, there's this big pile of money and we're going to split it all into different parts of ownership, right? Different shares." And the ETFs are designed generally to hold a basket of stocks, right? It holds a bunch of different stocks inside of it, a bunch of different equities. There are some outliers, right, that might play like an option strategy, but that's a little more complex. We don't really need to get into it. So ETFs have basically variable shares outstanding. So the unique feature of an ETF is that units can be created and destroyed. We call that the creation and redemption process, right? So when this redemption occurs, the there's actually a contraction, right? The shares outstanding um, of the ETF actually shrink. And when a bunch of inflow comes in, some of it might go into you know, the price climbing, but often more units are just created. So, okay, we put $100 million into SPY. Cool. What do? Well, they could just take $100 million and go buy up a bunch of Nvidia and Apple and Microsoft and Tesla, right? All the big things that make up the S&P 500, and just say, "Hey, you know what? We have a bunch of units now. We have, you know, 20,000 more units to sell." So ETFs have that creation and redemption mechanism built in, and that's what really makes them unique. But it's also one of the things that allows for things like arbitraging an ETF against its underlying against the underlying assets, right? And it allows for some really delayed like kind of creation processes. Nasdaq is fucking tanking. This is kind of what
I
we were
was about
waiting
to
on.
say,
Yeah, no, I'm watching. US 32.
fucking hell.
Ah, Hey man, it is what it is. You know, sometimes when you lie about a potential ceasefire, uh, you know, as it turns out, that's pretty bearish. That's pretty bearish.
I don't know how you came to that conclusion.
I think we came to that conclusion on stream yesterday, but yeah, we definitely came to that conclusion yesterday. Because dude, and I'm telling you guys, for whoever wasn't there, let me tell you real quick, okay? This shit was fucking hilarious. So we're sitting there, and I'm like, oh well, you know, we had talks over the weekend about bombing things, and now Trump is coming out and saying, you know, basically, oh, we had good talks, productive talks, you know, um, just kind of all of the shit that you know he normally is gonna say, and then maybe like 2 minutes later, Iran hits back and they're like, we haven't even talked to this fucking guy. And we were like, oh, okay. Like, good to know. We're super, super happy about that. Like, we fucking crazy. Crazy. Nice fingers. Good job. I'm happy
But
for you.
that's actually also one of the better examples of how fucking fast false info can spread around.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like we have seen a lot of false information in the markets. Like, kind of going back to 2008, right? There's a very famous video of Jim Cramer. And if you guys don't know who he is, he's the guy that you fucking inverse because he always will give you bad advice. He almost always has bad advice, okay? And he was very famously quoted as saying, "Don't be worried about Bear Stearns. Don't take out your money. Bear Stearns is fine." About a week before they fucking died as a company, before they ceased to exist. And that's quite funny. That's quite funny. So, we've had a lot of false information. That was one of the funnier ones. And like Icarus was saying, right, this was one of the quick ones. Like, man, did that shake us. I was dumbfounded. I was dumbfounded that the thing that I had just heard 2 minutes ago had already been disproven. It's funny because now the news is reporting it. Like I'm getting notifications on like my little news apps that are talking about it now, and I'm like, yeah, I already knew that. So now the market is starting to price it in, right? And again, right? Like you're looking at this, it's super bearish, and nothing should be trusted right now. No longs should be trusted on the indices. If you're taking them, it should be very small. It should be very quick, and you want to get right the fuck out. Okay. If you're looking for safe havens, then I would recommend taking a look at some of the oil stocks. Be a little bit careful because you missed the really good entry in January on them. But I think that Chevron, BP, ExxonMobil, right? So that's CVX, ticker BP, and XOM. I think that they all have some legs here. So that could be potentially a good hedge against all of this global conflict. Um, Shout out to Chevron. That thing has been wonderful for us this year. Um, I hate to keep harping on it and basically fucking topping myself off here, but God, that was a beautiful call. And I'm still long with shares, right? I sold my calls, but I'm still long with shares. So clearly, I still think that it's bullish. It has more room to go, and as tensions kind of heat up in the Middle East and continue to escalate, I think that having oil that is mostly drawn from South America is a really, really big deal. It's a really big deal. We could see that there was a little bit of an order block here. We had a pretty harsh rejection with these two wicks. Now we're edging on breaking this liquidity level. And, if we actually do end up breaking it and getting a little bit of continued selling pressure, then this whole thing can fall apart. We can go right back down to the value area low like that, dude. Like literally in a fucking heartbeat. So just be cautious of this. And for those of you who aren't aware, this heat map indicator basically tells you where all of the buying and selling pressure exists. It updates in near real time, and it's something that was made custom for this room. So, take advantage of it. It is part of our Warrior subscription. So, if you're interested in this thing that can basically act as like an extra layer of confirmation, I almost like to call it like a cheat code in the markets. Uh, make sure you join up, right? Make sure you join up. Come hang with us on stream every day, and make some fucking money. Why does CNBC keep Kramer on? Because he's a really good talking head. Okay, so what you need to understand is Kramer does two things really well. Number one, he gets people emotional and ready to buy and sell according to what is best for Wall Street. Okay, and number two, he's entertaining, right? He's entertaining, even if he's consistently fucking wrong. And even if you hate the guy and you hate everything he stands for, you got to admit Jim Cramer is entertaining because he comes out, dude, like a fucking bear on coke. He's slurring his words. He's super fucking drunk, right? He just looks like he's completely shit faced all the time, and he comes out and yells and mashes his soundboard for like an hour every morning. Like Jim Cramer is entertaining. There's a lot of really funny clips where he's trying to be, he's trying to just be normal, and he's completely incapable of it. Morning, Kenny. That's a good comparison. He is like a mild Alex Jones, but with stock. But he just comes out and he has a really stupid personality. Like I don't know that many serious investors are watching Kramer because they're like, oh God, got to see what Jim thinks. I think it's more that it happens to be on in the morning. It's in a time slot where most people aren't having like the business discussions, right? Like Charles Payne does his a little bit later on Fox generally, and Jim Cramer's just entertaining. I think that people just watch it for entertainment. He's kind of like a streamer. Yeah, he's the adult version of TJR. He's the adult, coked out, bald version of TJR.
Damn.
Yeah, get fucking wrecked, dude. Everyone's catching strays in this bitch today. Everyone's catching strays. Sorry, not sorry, Jim. Sorry, not sorry, Jim boy. But yeah, so that's why they keep him on. It's because he has decent ratings. He has decent ratings, and he's always going to do what his handlers tell him to do. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. So, yeah. I mean, that's kind of like my opinion on Kramer. Again, I wouldn't recommend following his investment advice, as Fingers knows. Everyone, please give Fingers a congratulation on getting his.
No.
No. Okay. No. Never mind. Never mind. No. No. You know what? Let's check. Let's check real quick and see how some of our big tech stocks in the market are doing. Okay, Apple doing bad. Seems good. Microsoft, okay, not so bad. Not so bad. The ever volatile Tesla. It's not doing great. It's not doing terrible. It's not doing great. I think that this company is like a big pile of shit, to be honest with you. Yes, Aspect. That came out I think that news came out last night that there's a big explosion. There's a big explosion and it's caught on fire. So, there's just more oil problems. That's par for the course at this point. I don't know how, but what I can tell you is that that shortage is bullish for oil, right? Because if the demand doesn't change, or even if the demand does change and it's heightened because we're in a war, and the supply changes drastically and supply gets cut off, that's generally really bullish for oil. right? Or really any asset that we could be talking about, right? We could be talking about, fuck, I don't know, dude. Literally anything else. You know, flip it, it's gold. Okay, cool. There's a bunch of demand for gold. Suddenly supply gets cut short. Gold goes up, right? Basic laws of supply and demand. So if anything, you should see that scarcity, and your first thought should be, okay, well, how much does this plant actually produce? How much do they refine? And then number two, we should be looking at who owns it. I don't know who owns it. I haven't looked into it yet. But that's because I'm kind of already set in my oil plays. And number three, we should then see, okay, well, what would be the expected consequences of this explosion, of this fire, of this refinery not being able to operate right now? Well, in the case of very high demand and now even lower supply, that should just make it more bullish. That should just make it more bullish. But that also increases the cost that is paid by all of the businesses that use this oil to move their goods around, right? It increases your prices at the gas pump. So there are some other consequences of it. But for oil specifically, yeah, kind of bullish, believe it or not. Yo, Icky, there you go, bro. There you go. That's good thinking right there. We could have a whole event around it, and we'll do it later. We'll do it later, like way later, like decades later.
Yeah, also we have the King of the Bill season 2
Oh
coming out
yeah,
today.
we do have that. We do have that. So we're gonna do it a little bit different this time. Icarus, you want to tell the folks about our little competition that we're doing?
Yes, sir. So, what are we doing? King of the Bill. It's a little contest between the warriors. If you noticed from last time, we split the warriors into two groups, and you guys trade against each other. But this time, we don't have it over an entire month, but we have it for like 30 minutes to an hour. And we are using chart gems for that. So it's a little bit more fast paced and more risky. So you're forced to take trades. And
Absolutely.
at the end, we will just evaluate everything.
Well, and not only will we evaluate everything, but we should talk about the prize a little bit, I think.
Yeah. You can
So,
announce that one.
so what we're going to be doing is we are going to have a special role, and it is going to be something that is unique, and only the people that win will have it, and they will only have it until the conclusion of the next King of the Bill contest. So, if you want to get that special flair and you want to be able to fucking flex, then join up, right? And it's something that's available to all of the Warrior Tier subscribers. This is like a little fun event that we're gonna do. Um, and I think that it's also going to really give everyone an opportunity to see, um, how maybe other members of the group are approaching things, and maybe we can all learn from each other, right? So I think that there's a lot of validity to it, and I think that it's a really good exercise. But also, if you win, then you get to flex, and who doesn't like flexing? And that's it. All right. Well, we are about 5 minutes away from market open. I am going to go just quickly get some coffee, wake up, um, make sure that I am nice and awake for you guys. And then let's get this show started. Icarus, I'm going to pass the mic over to you for just a few minutes and
Yes, sir.
we will get going. Be right back, everyone.
All right, guys. Drop me in what you guys want to hear. No, Icky, stop asking that. Every day you come with the same question. I am not gonna sing for you. No aspect. And chosen one? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Because today I'm feeling quite well. So you'll have a hard time. Speaking of which, we have some gold analysis to do. Yesterday we actually touched the 4,467 line, which are marked up on stream, and we rejected off of it, came back down to 325, and now are consolidating in between. So essentially what we have right now here is another like consolidation zone where we just wait for a breakout like the other day on Monday where I said the same. And we just need to break out of that with substantial volume, and we can go easily another $100 to $200 in a certain direction. Yo, KCR, I'm gonna get you up here. Yo, what up, Casey? Yeah, we're not. It's just the echo from the stream. You can mute his stream, like the screen share that he has on. If you mute that, then you only have a little echo from his mic because he has his mic next to his headphones. Damn. I don't know what it's about that. All right, let's see. 1 minute and 30. Are you guys ready for some insanity on the market today? Yo, KCR, you can leave and rejoin the stream. Maybe that'll fix it. Because like on NASDAQ right now, the sell pressure is out of the roof. These wicks to the upside like a few minutes ago were insane. Also remember, like in 15 minutes we get manufacturing PMI. So be careful if you have like any funded accounts and you're not allowed to trade news. Then I would highly suggest waiting this out.
A NASDAQ to zero. Are we dying already?
Seems so.
Are we dying already? We want to wait on a little break of this structure. Ideally, we'd like to wait for us to cross through this value area low before entering any kind of short. But again, right, we're expecting some volatility today. We're expecting, hopefully a quick, decisive movement one way or the other. So let's sit back and wait and see what happens. And of course, I'll be calling out all of my entries as they happen and the exits. So play along. Let's fuck around, make a little dough. Even with a little break of structure, I don't know how much I would trust this if it does end up happening. So we're going to keep an eye on the delta and, make sure that whatever move we have is actually backed by a big order imbalance.
We also have actually some volume today. It's
We
not
do have
as
some
lame as
volume.
fuck around like the last time.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, right, we want to see what happens. All right, this is a break. Give it a sec. I don't know if I trust it, man. I really just don't. I don't feel like I trust this. I don't trust the longs today.
I don't either.
Like, we'll see what happens. I mean, if it continues bullishly and we're able to hold this liquidity level and we start trailing up, then maybe that would be okay for a really small quick trade. But I don't know that I see it happening right now. We'll just wait a sec.
I'd need like a lot for me in order to go long.
We just saw all of the market shift up a little bit. Value area high, put a control, value area low, all just kind of moved up a little bit. It's largely due to all of the volume that happened right here. And this is where we must be patient. So like yesterday, dude, we did so much fucking waiting. We did so much waiting yesterday to finally, kind of find that direction. And really find a direction we could trust, which ended up being mostly, biased over to the short side. And I think that's kind of where we are today. I think I'm going to enter a small short here on NASDAQ. Fuck it. I'm putting in the order now. All right, I'm filled. Filled at 76. Filled at 76. I'm going to go ahead and set my stop up at 100. This is a really small size, so don't go heavy. And we're just going to hold on to it for a little bit and see what happens. Because if this thing ends up going up to 100, it's definitely like invalidating our trade. But we got in at 76. That seems pretty good. It's kind of smack dab in the middle of this really big candle. And yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But again, if this thing crosses 100, like that trade's invalidated. It could trace up to here. But this is why we always want to start with a really small size, right? Kind of test the waters a little bit. You can always size up into a trade as it's already working. So don't feel like you need to grab a bunch of, contracts right off the rip. You really don't need to. It's far better to just be patient and let the market do what the market's going to do, right? First and foremost, we need to keep ourselves safe. And first and foremost, Like that, keeping ourselves safe is our first job, and the first behavior that we have is, again,
Wait, wait,
kind of
wait, wait.
whoa,
Did
whoa,
you
whoa,
just
whoa,
say
whoa.
job?
Oh, see, the market doesn't like hearing that. I'm still holding my stop at the same spot. Um, could potentially move it down and de-risk a little bit here, but I kind of feel like we're going to trace up a bit still. So, like, I'm just waiting. I don't really want to get stopped out here.
I'm keeping everything where it is right now.
Yeah.
If we
Kind of
actually
hanging out.
manage to pass through like 24 even, I might even add a little.
Oh, dude, if we pass through that, this thing's fucking dying. But look at that. We shorted from 76. We're sitting down in the mid 40s right now. Looking pretty decent. This is again the time where we don't necessarily want to add to the position yet. We just kind of want to hang out, see what happens, right? Watch it die a little bit for us. Watch it die a little bit for us. I'm going to go ahead and move my stop to slightly better than break even. So I'm going to move it down to 60, right, to 2460. And, worst case scenario, if it traces up, even with a little bit of slippage, we should be able to secure a $16 move in our favor to the downside. So this value area low, this is the next big area that we're going to be testing. Let's see if it acts as support whatsoever. If we can get down there. We got really close here, and we already saw a little bit of a supportive bounce. Right, we got some buyers kind of stepping in. So just be a little bit cautious. This indicator is a custom indicator that was made for this room and for the strategies that we use. Icarus, my co-host here, created it for us based on a bunch of the lessons that I teach here, and it's available through our warrior tier. So if you would like to use it, it is one of the perks that comes with being a subscriber to the room, right? And you can check all that out in premium. And as you can
That's
see, it's
actually a
very, very
decent move.
useful. That is a decent move. So I'm going to go ahead and move my stop down to 40 here, which is super
Already?
tight. Yes. Yes, I'm moving it down. I want to secure these profits because 76 to 40 is a really good move.
I'm out.
And there we go. I'm stopped. I'm stopped out. Well, we caught a decent one there. Off to a good start in the morning. So let's hang out and see what happens next.
I think I might even short simultaneously on US 30 and NASDAQ if we break below the levels.
If we could break below like this whole structure right here, right? Break below these wicks in this little area. Like I think that those are pretty obvious shorts. So I'm right there with you. US 30 is really running into a lot of resistance. Like we see that there's a big order block happening right here where some seller is stepping in and saying, no, you shall not pass. You shall not pass. All right. This is kind of the moment of truth for NASDAQ. Do we die? Give it a sec. It's so close. It's so close to absolute death. NASDAQ to zero. NASDAQ to zero. Oh, you know what? I know what'll help this along. We'll start with Papa Bear. I'm entering another small short on NASDAQ here. And filled. Got in at 993.
Also keep an eye on US 30. It's also on the brink of death.
993. And probably just going to set my stop to 24,000 even. We could see a little bit of a trace up, but realistically, this is like one of the last liquidity levels that we have. So, you know, this is like the very end of that range. And after we drop below this, that's where we could start to really have some fun and see some potential real big moves to the downside. Like that, right? Here we go. Here we go. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give me that NASDAQ death. Give me that NASDAQ.
I want everything of that. This is good. I love that.
Okay. Setting stop to break even at 993.
Also entered a little US 30 short here.
I don't know, man. We're keeping it low key. We're just watching. We're just watching the world burn with the fucking boys, man. We're just hanging out together, watching everything die. That's okay. I like the smell of napalm in the morning. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
Like I want fucking arsenic as the liquid in my cornflakes for breakfast. Okay, like that's the kind of death we're looking for. It's no big deal. It's just a little crash, guys. Chill.
Just a little, and we are all in here and enjoying this.
It's not like we're sitting here betting on it, right? Oh, wait.
Holy fucking.
Set your stops to 950. All right,
950.
and I'm set. And I'm stopped out. I'm fine with that. I'm totally okay with that. 993 to 950. Yeah, dude, I'll take that every day. I'll take that every fucking day. We got two real big trades already. Not any of like the big, $100 moves that we do catch sometimes, but we got some pretty good ones there. Okay, we got some pretty good ones there. WLMD made 980. What did that take? 12 minutes? Good job, guys. Good job, guys. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. That's a good 12 minutes, okay? That's a good 12 minutes. Show me another place where you can make a fucking grand in 12 minutes. Okay? And if you want to do this every day and you want to join these streams every day, then join up in the Warrior program, right? Because we literally do this every single fucking morning. We come in, we hang out, I update you guys on the news, right? You get to listen to us talk a little shit, and then we trade. And lately it's just been we just short the market. You know, I think that it's bearish enough that we need more than just Bobo. We need the whole family. We need the whole family. We got Bobo, Bobita, and Bob. All right, we need the whole bear family. Like, this price action's too hot. This price action's too cold. This price action dropping like that is just right. You know, Goldilocks, whatever. Okay, you guys fucking get it. It's a good joke. It's a good joke. Yo, literally, and hey, if you just want to hang out for the vibes after you're done trading, like shit, man, we'd love to have you. We're just hanging out. We're just hanging out. Yo, Lieutenant Dan didn't like my fucking joke. He thought it was corny. He thought it was cheesy. Oh, I might have sold my calls a little too early on Chevron, but that's okay. Anna is just going fucking nuts, dude. 49% on the day. If only someone had recognized that situation when it was at like 250 and called it, oh wait, they did. It was definitely called out for our Warriors at like 250. So I don't know if you guys like tripling your investment in 3 weeks, but if you are a fan of tripling your investment in 3 weeks, you know, maybe you consider hanging out with some people that do this for a living. You might even learn a thing or two. I know, that's crazy.
It's a gamble.
That's crazy. Why is going down good? Well, that's a really interesting question in the way that you phrased it. Can we get Finger back in here? He could tell you why, with his family, why going down is good. No, so what we did there, Starfish is a little bit new to trading. What we did there is we shorted, right? So we borrowed shares from somebody else, or borrowed contracts in this case, and we bet against the market, right? We borrowed them, sold them, and then the way that we make money is we buy them back later at hopefully a lower price, and we return them, right? So that's what short selling is. It's a way that you can bet on things going down, and that is what we've been doing this morning. So we are betting on everything going down. So that's why going down is good. It's only good if you already had shorted it and if you were betting on that happening. Yeah. So yeah, we did sell our Anna a little bit early, but we did still get some really incredible gains from it. So you can't be mad, right? You can't be mad. You gotta take all this in stride, right? Nobody ever went broke taking profits. Just remember that. Nobody went broke taking profits. So, kind of put everything into perspective. Sure, we could have made a little bit more on Anna. Yeah, absolutely, we could have made a little bit more. But we could have also just lost our ass holding a bunch of garbage AI investments. So, it is what it is. You're lost, Starfish. We'll try to find you then. We'll try to find you. It's okay. All of this will make sense once you're doing it for a little bit longer.
Really?
There's a learning curve. There's a little bit of time that everyone has to take to kind of figure out the lingo, right? The language that gets used. Like shorting is really just kind of like a foreign concept to most people. Because there's not really like a real life equivalent. Like I can't go up and say, "Hey, let me borrow your car. I want to sell it to someone, and when they get tired of driving it, I'll buy it at a cheaper price and I'll give you your car back." Like if I said that to you, you'd be like, "What are you, fucking stupid? Like are you retarded? Are you retarded?" Like there's not really like a real world equivalent of short selling, to be honest with you.
Nah,
So
there is.
what is it?
For example, if you go to a bank or, well, another person, like
A
buying
loan
gold
shark?
from them, buying gold. Like if you say, like, yeah, okay, give me your gold, I must sell it and buy it back at a cheaper price, so you can have it more and cheaper. So your value is increased.
Does that happen? Potentially a short opportunity here. All right, all jokes aside, eyes open. Orders are being held back for a second. They're trying to front run us. They're not trying to. They are front running whoever's trading right now. So let's wait a sec. Let's see what this does. These little pauses in trading are often ended with big moves or gaps. Like, see, we just got a little bit of a gap there. Just give it a second. Let's see how all this ends up working out. Again, I really, really don't trust any kind of like longs, really. Like it would take a hell of a lot for me to trust any kind of longs. We've already had two really good trades. So we're just kind of hanging out, right? We don't want to overtrade. We want to make sure that we are doing the right thing. And Lieutenant Dan, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Get a pound of weed fronted to you, you sell it for more than you owe, pay the lender back. Yeah, I mean, that is kind of like short selling. You're not wrong. But can you give us an example with crack? No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. We're gonna get kicked off YouTube, you guys. You guys gotta watch your mouths. You keep talking about Finger and his sister and crack. Like we can't discuss this, guys, on the internet. SLS is holding up really nicely compared to everything else. It really is, because everything else is just shitting the bed. Like I'm literally looking at all of these equities on my phone right now, and like, dude, things are looking fucking rough.
I dropped in a small short on Nasdaq.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think it's about that time. I just want a little bit more.
Because I have the slight feeling that we're going to see a massive fucking move any minute.
See, I'm kind of waiting for this delta to get really, really bearish. Like I feel like we're close. We're right on the precipice of a really big right on the precipice of a really big move. Sorry about that. I'm still a little tired. It's early here. Right? The sun is just now starting to come up here, right? West Coast struggles. Being a trader on the West Coast means that you wake up, before fucking dawn every day. Yo, let's fucking go, Garrick.
Yo.
Exactly, Icky. Entering small short here, I think. All right, I'm in. I got in at 32. So let's see what happens. It was not the best fill, but it was mine.
I entered a little earlier than you, so
You
I
did.
got a fill at 9:51.
It's funny because that's about where I think I'm going to be setting my stop. They're holding back orders. Give them a second. They got to front run all of our volume and scrape pennies off the top from us. Jesus Christ, I'm stopped out. What the fuck was that? They're trying to prop this thing up a little bit. It's really interesting. Look at that. Two real good winning trades. One small loss. We're doing good today. We're hanging out. But you know what? Again, we don't want to overtrade. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to wait and be very patient. And we are going to find something very, very, very worthwhile. Garrick's such a fucking beast, bro. He rode that all the way down with us, bro. Holding fucking a levered short position or a levered bearish position. Holding puts that he didn't own the shares to sell. What a fucking beast, bro. Let's go. Give it up for Garrick, everybody. Quick little 1.5K off of it. Give it up for Garrick. Give it up for him. See, and that's the difference, man. You hang out, right? You hang out, you learn from people that know what the fuck they're talking about, and you can do phenomenal. You could do phenomenal. There's no limit to what you can do. Ooh, yeah, the 585 puts. Yeah, dude, that was a beautiful trade. Great job on that. Great job on that.
Come on, Nasdaq, just drop the other foot already.
I know. I'm fucking waiting to.
I'm still holding that shit.
You're still holding?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right back to break even right now, so.
And my position is so small, I don't really care. It's like 0.15 lots.
See, my position was small, but I still didn't want to hold and take that risk. Because when you're having a good day, you want to make sure it stays a good day. So I don't want to take any kind of outsized risk. I think that's something that and I'm not saying that that you're doing it, but I know that a lot of people struggle with that where they'll get some profits and then they immediately are like, all right, yeah, I got to gamble my profits. Let me fucking full port because now I can make even more. Except what people don't realize is that's how you fucking lose, right?
You want to keep them gains safe.
You got to keep those gains safe. Like you should never be looking to give back all of your gains from a day. Don't let a green day turn red in the same way that you don't let a green trade turn red. Right? If you have to place your stop at break even, I'd way rather be break even than lose. Okay? Yeah, exactly, Garrick. So people think they got it, and then they blow themselves up, right? And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be confident in what you're doing. You should be confident in what you're doing, but that confidence comes from experience, and it comes from education, and it comes from learning how the market actually functions, like as a system, right? Like you can look at the chart all you want, but the thing that really makes the big difference in traders is one, like the mentality, the discipline. And two, it's understanding the context around why the chart looks the way that it does. For instance, right now, we can see that we've been running into a little bit of resistance here, right? Sellers have been stepping in, and now buyers just
Stocked out.
completely took that over. Buyers completely took that over. So what I would want to see, in order to long anything, to be honest with you, I would need to see a hell of a lot. Like I don't trust this whatsoever. We came up to the same spot that we stopped out on. That all the buyers stopped buying before, where the sellers really took over. Stopped at pretty much that same area. Just the same as like we stopped down here where we saw buyers at pretty much the same spot. So I am patiently awaiting. I think that what we will probably be doing here is returning to the mean, right? Returning down to the point of control and kind of reverting to the middle of this range that we've been in. And we should hopefully see a little bit of indication of direction from there. Again, I'm biased to the short side today, so I really don't want to. I really don't want to long. Like it would take an incredible change for me to want to long. UBS downgrades Europe, upgrades Switzerland. Okay, bud. Okay. I wonder why the Swiss bank is upgrading Switzerland. That is really interesting, isn't it? Who ever would have guessed that the largest bank in Switzerland would upgrade themselves, upgrade their country? They're like, yeah, guys, trust me. Just trust Switzerland. Swiss bank accounts? You guys have heard about that in movies. Fuck you. Yeah, literally, source, trust us, bro. And for those of you that don't know, UBS is kind of like a shit show, or at least it was. I don't know if it's been completely resolved. I'd be really surprised if it was. But they were forced to take over Credit Suisse, who basically made a bunch of really, really bad decisions and lent money to some people that they shouldn't have. And when those people lost all that money, all of that risk shifted onto them, and they eventually collapsed under the weight of their own gigantic bags of dog shit that they were holding. And when they collapsed, UBS stepped in and said, "Oh, hey, you know what? Maybe we'll buy it." And so then they go ahead, they buy it with the publicly available information, and then after like a week or two, they dug into it and they realized what they had bought, and they were like, wait, we don't want this. And the Swiss government said, no, you're taking this. Like you are buying this. You are going to go through with this merger, or else you won't do business in our country anymore. that's their main location. So obviously they complied. And we don't know exactly what the contents of their books is or was, because it was actually sealed by the Swiss federal courts for the next, 100 years. So we have, what, 98 years now? I think that happened in middle of 2024. So just another 98 years, and we're going to see what exactly they were so afraid of taking ownership of. But I bet it's a bunch of bullshit, or else they would have been happy to get it at that price. Yeah, and UBS has horrible fees. Like, UBS is not an institution that I'm super fond of. I don't think very highly of them. Um, to be honest with you, one of my favorite financial institutions just got squeezed out of silver, which is J.P. Morgan. Like, I think that they do really good business, and it's not just because I worked for them. Um, but it's partially because of that, right? Because I saw the risk management in their day-to-day operations. I saw their focus on customer service above everything else, and I think that there's a good there's a good market for that, right? There's still room for that person-to-person interaction at the branch level, and for like truly kind of customized solutions on like the business lending front, and you know various other um, kind of products. But UBS doesn't really have like an edge in any of that in the same way that JP Morgan does. They really just don't. Like, I don't really like them as an institution, and I wouldn't want to be long them, right? I don't trust them. I trust Riley more. In Riley we trust. Can we fucking move a little bit more? and
No.
and not up either. Move down, move down. I don't want to trade this long today. This is fucking garbage. The moves down are way easier to predict because everything's so fucked right now. So, we've talked about patience. This is what I mean, right? We really have to be patient sometimes, especially when things are uncertain and a little bit choppy like they are today. Icarus is clicking. You guys can't hear it on Discord because like my streaming software picks up a lot more. It doesn't have like that automatic, that automatic like sound suppression. But dude, trust me, he's clicking up a fucking storm right now. Click, 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 click. I don't know what he's clicking, but he's clicking the shit out of something. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Look at I do. You threw in some right clicks on that one.
Now I'm just managing the 1 second chart right now. It's a lot of analysis I gotta do in a small time window.
It's a lot of movement. Yeah. See, I don't even bother with it. I'm just gonna sit. I'm gonna chill on my 1 minute. Waiting for the next big leg down. If it happens during stream, then we'll hit it. If not, then well, you heard it here first to watch out for it.
I
But
actually went in a small long on gold from like for 390.
okay, yeah, a little bit of a recovery happening there. I mean, a $5 move on gold is not nothing. So, good job. It's not nothing. It's not the most exciting, crazy thing in the world, but it's not nothing.
Yeah, but I'm not yet done. My target is like 442.
Oh, geez, that would be a big fucking move. Look at that. It's already going your way. Very nice. Good job. Good job.
I just wish I was able to get the breakout like at 365.
Oh well. We move on. We got there's always more trades that'll be taken tomorrow. I'm just waiting on like this big liquidation. I'm waiting to see if it happens because we're again, dude. We are so close. Like I know I keep saying it. I've been saying it for like 3 days now, but we are so close. All right, Dan. We'll catch you in a bit, brother. Yeah, it's probably been a while since you went to a physical bank, Eric, and that's because it's 2026 and you don't really need to. But if you ran a business that had a bunch of cash needs, then you would. And if you were like fucking 85 years old and confused by everything with a screen, then you would. So, we have to put it into a little bit of perspective, right? Like there are some cases where you do care about that. You care about having a lot of locations. You care about the staff being respectful, well trained, and being able to actually give you like solutions to your problems. Um, and that's something that I really learned at the branch level because when I was a banker, when I first became a banker, I was like, oh, okay, I'm like I'm just kind of here. It is mostly a sales position, but and that's what it was basically advertised to me as. But there is a little bit of a customer service element to it too, because a lot of times you end up getting busy on some days doing stuff that people could totally do for themselves, but are unable to figure out, right? Like fucking Edith can't figure out how to use her debit card, so you have to show her for the 50th time. That kind of thing, right? So for some people, the branch is really useful. This is interesting. I just, again, I don't know that I trust it, so I don't know that I want to take it. We'll kind of see what happens. I'm not big on the oh bro, but we swept the downside and we had Asia lows and London highs. Like I don't give a shit about any of that, man. Okay. This chart overall looks pretty cooked. Oh my god, dude, what the fuck was that gap down? Did you just see that? What is that? Oh, you're right. You're right, Barry. That's the big thing, but only on Papa Bear. Okay. There we go. The bear is strong now. It's unbearable. Yeah, SLS does look to be breaking out. SLS does look to be breaking out, and I'm really excited to see that. Let me pull up my levels for you so you can take a little peek at what I'm looking at or what I got for you. So
I'm gonna be right back.
trying to clear this. We haven't cleared that big red candle from when we gapped up and then sold way off. So we'll have to see what happens there. But if we go down to the 1 minute and throw on our heat map and switch it to regular trading hours, because I don't really want to get the overnight. Give a sec to load. And again, guys, like I understand it's gone up a little bit. Just I'm telling you, this is not to be trusted right now. Like, could it go up further? Yes. Is there a ton of risk longing it here? Yeah, you betcha. You betcha. There's a lot of risk here. So that risk is not something that I would advocate that you take. Yeah, SLS is breaking out like by every standard of the word. So see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if we came down and just kind of tested this value area high, maybe even the point of control. Hopefully, we confirm these two as support, and we can, continue to trail up. But to be honest with you, I'm not so concerned with the day to day, just because, I'm locked in and I'm long. I'm in it for the long haul. Like you've known that about me. I'm in SLS for the long haul. Like it's something that's kind of just always in the back of my mind now, because like the active trade, where we literally squeezed it, like that's done now. That's done. I I think that at this point, SLS is large enough that any kind of move further is going to have to be institutional money. I don't think retail's moving that thing in a big way anymore, unless a big crowd rushes in of new buyers. That would be, the kind of exception. All right, let's see how we react to this value area high, and if we get a nice little short opportunity here. We did kind of break this little structure that we've had for the last 3 minutes or so, but I want to see a little bit more. I want to see a little bit more, just to be sure, because in this environment, we have to. In this environment, we really just have to stay safe. And Eisen, you said longs are free, but I do not feel comfortable longing, so I won't, because I felt way more comfortable just shorting, and I also just don't want to overtrade. Like I've already taken some really good trades today. We shorted this shit earlier, so I'm not too concerned. And to be honest with you, I just don't trust these longs. Like I don't trust this whatsoever. This looks like a big way to generate a bunch of liquidity and get everyone thinking, "Oh man, is it going to drop?" No, okay, fine, fuck it, I'll long, and that's where the rug gets pulled, right? So I'm just largely sitting and waiting. OND Ondas is looking really good. Ondas is looking really good, and that's another one, where I don't necessarily look at it every day, and the reason is because it's not a short term trade for me. It's an investment. Entering small short on Nasdaq here. No, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. We're so close. I wanna see us break down through this
Oh
little
my
area,
days.
kind of like we just did. They're holding back orders. Give them a sec.
It's ramping down the fuck. Oh my days.
So remember, Eisen, when I was saying that I don't trust the longs? This is that shit, bro. That's what I'm saying. Also, I think Trump is speaking at like 1:30 Eastern, so make sure that you guys
Again?
mark that out. Yeah, well, it's every day. You know that. Come on, you've seen this movie before. He has to talk to fucking reporters every day and talk about how much he hates the news.
Yeah, true. All right, stopped out.
Yeah, boring but efficient is fine. And literally, Garrick, when is he not running his mouth other than when he dumps in his pants? Yeah, and Eisen, that's the thing, right? It's like, you would have been cooked, but why weren't you cooked? It's because you waited, right? And that's one of the biggest things that I'm trying to impart to people right now. It's like, if you take anything away from this game, it is the value of waiting, and experience gives you that confidence to say, you know what, I'm not going to take this trade right now. Like, I'm going to wait for something better to show up. Like,
Yeah, I went into the short at 24.19 and took profits like at 9.79.
See, I didn't even enter it. I'm just kind of hanging out right now because I've already had a really good day, and I'm just kind of waiting. Like we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But overall, just not concerned because, again, part of that discipline is being able to say, I had a good day, and I'm comfortable walking away now. Right? That is part of the discipline that a trader must have. You have to be okay with saying, I made some money. Maybe I don't have a read on this situation, and now I'm going to walk away. It's important to be able to do that. And
Yeah, I
I'm
just
not.
took the setup
Oh, go ahead.
I just took the setup from Oracle because, yeah,
Yeah, and I'm not knocking you whatsoever. This is more for everyone else, right? Not you. This is more for
sorry.
everyone else. Yeah, sorry, you don't get shit. I think I might enter a small short here. I want to see us cross through this liquidity level at 85. If we can cross through that, we could potentially get some more downward momentum, and I would be targeting that value area low down at 54 if that was the case. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if we can get there. That's the setup that I would like to take. But again, look at US 30.
Nice.
Look at US 30. That might actually be the trade.
I'm also re-entered in Nasdaq.
I'm entering a small short on US 30. And I'm in. I got my 984 fill. I'm gonna set my stop at 46.10. All right, we're set. We're set now. We're stopped out now. Well, we're still doing great on the day. We're still doing great on the day. Yeah, another big NASDAQ dump would be fucking sick. It would be sick. I totally agree.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Barry. Like,
I mean, to be honest with
shorts.
you, if you guys are up already, like if you've had a good day, like don't push your luck. I'm telling you.
Just walk away.
Just walk away. Like what you guys don't see is that the trade that I took there on US 30 was tiny, right? And you guys saw, like you did see, that I had good risk management, right? I was making sure that even a small little move would stop me out, right? So if I wasn't right immediately on the direction, I'm out. I'm not holding this shit. I'm not sitting here trying to get into a fucking hour and a half long trade while the market's doing this. Like, it's not a good idea. It's not for me. There's too much risk involved.
Yeah, it's complete bullshit.
Yeah. There's a lot of risk today. So, you have to make sure that you're taking the steps to protect yourself. And yeah.
I just know the people that still hold the shorts from like through 980. They are mad.
Yeah. That's why I was okay. I was okay with just getting stopped out on that US 30. I mean, obviously, I'd prefer to not be stopped out, but this fucking Chevron crossing 209, dude. Holy fuck! Hey, there you go, Wall Street Chad. See, you figured it out. Garrick, I fucking get that, bro. You're like, something, please happen. Anything happen. Really looking forward to the Riley earnings report in 7 days. We have literally a week left before we figure out the short-term fate of B. Riley. I think it's bullish.
Really?
Yeah, what do I know though?
Exactly.
What do I know?
Fucking noob.
I've only seen this movie fucking 50 times. It's funny because I had to go back in time last night because my buddy that I recorded that Riley video with, and if you guys haven't seen it, I would recommend going and taking a peek. It's fun, it's entertaining, and it'll kind of actually not kind of, it'll very much explain in depth, my thoughts on it, as well as someone else who's very very familiar with the company, and I was actually just talking to him last night after we recorded that, and we were talking about how when we first met, it was because he was long on Riley and I was shorting it at like 20-30 bucks, and I was just like, this thing's a pile of garbage. And he's like, no, it's like it's pretty decent. And I was like, no, it's a pile of garbage right now. And I shorted it and it fucking worked. And then, we became friends after that. And like 2 years later, he comes up to me and he's like, dude, you really got to look at Riley. Like, I'm telling you, things are different now. And, I went and I took a look, and to my surprise, like, this company had actually turned around what I thought was impossible. So, we're kind of in the middle of a big turnaround story, a big redemption story of a once great US business. I mean, I could see it. I could see it just going absolutely bonkers from here. So, keep that in mind. And if you want to be part of these streams every single day, and if you want to get all of the call outs, you want to get all of the swing trades, literally delivered to you on a golden fucking platter, then join the Warrior. Join the Warrior program. You saw Garrick made 1.5 grand on some puts. You saw people make $1,000 in the first 15 minutes that we were here. Like, stop cheating yourselves. Just join up and really learn how this shit works.
What a fucking candle.
What was that?
What a fucking candle on NASDAQ.
What, the wick or the big red one?
The big red one.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were talking about the little like scam wick recovery that's happening right now. Yeah, no, that was a big one. That was a big one. But I've pretty much decided that I'm done for the day. Like, if I see anything later in the day that I really really truly can't ignore, then I'll ping the Warrior chat for you guys, so that way we can hit these trades. But I think for the most part that we've had a really good morning. I don't know anyone that's not having a good morning, so I think that most of us are in a good spot. Like, this is the place where we go and work for an hour in the morning and make a grand or two and walk the fuck away. Easy money. Easy money. Yeah, I got you Untitled. Of course. Wall Street Chad, very nice. 309. I dig it. Yeah, you can pay for the program in a single trade. And plus, like, you guys see, great job, Barry. You guys see, it's funny because I know that a lot of people, kind of going into today, were expecting like this big bullish continuation, like that it would continue from yesterday. And you know, we were saying at the beginning of stream, like, hey, don't trust these fucking longs. And you know how big of a deal it was to not trust these longs up here, right it open. Like we did pop up, and the whole time we were like, just fucking wait, dude. Like it's coming, just wait. And boom, look at that. Had a massive 200-point drop in like 8 minutes. This thing might fucking die again in a minute. It's close. It's close to death. It's not there yet, but it's close. I think that it has a good chance of going lower. I think that it has a really good chance of going lower, but I think that we should be waiting. And again, if you've already had a lot of success in the day, like there's no real point in pushing it, because as you continue through the day, you're going to get a little bit mentally exhausted. You're going to carry some baggage from the morning where, you know, you're thinking, "Oh, well, you know, it was super bullish or bearish in the morning, you know, whatever it was." And you know, it's there's something to be said about being able to walk away and just go enjoy the rest of your day. Like what I'm going to do after this, like I said, is I'm going to keep an eye on things. If I see something, I'll ping the Warriors. But I'm going to go have some breakfast, and I'm going to go lay down with my girlfriend for a bit and watch some TV and spend some time with the people that I care about, you know, or you know, the person that I care most about. And yeah, yeah, yeah. Or you kick yourself for missing a big bag earlier and blow your cash trying to catch lightning in a bottle. That is a good observation. That also happens. So see, like this is why, like, you know, could it have gone lower? Yeah, potentially. But why bet on could it go lower when we can recognize that it could go lower and we wait for it to actually begin doing so? And once it begins dropping, that's where I want to take the short. I want to sell where sellers exist. So, you know, got to be patient. We got to wait. Trading isn't always the most exciting thing. It can be. It certainly can be. But you know, we have to keep emotions in check. Like right now, this is still within this structure. Like this hasn't broken out of shit yet. The first attempt at a breakout just got stuffed. The sellers came in and said, "Fuck no, you're not doing that." Can it happen? Sure. Sure, it could. I wouldn't trust it, but it could happen. If anything, I'd wait for the backside, kind of like, you know, right here. And come up and get this little double top and short back down. So yeah, that's why we waited. That is why we waited. Barry's learned a lot, man. Barry's learned a lot. Believe it or not, Barry's only been trading for like what, like 3 weeks? He's already learned so fucking much. I'm really proud. I'm really proud. He's trading for 3 weeks. His first week, he had a really rough time. At first, it was success. He got a little cocky. Things didn't go his way. He got a little rough. And then he said, "You know what? Why don't I get a little bit of guidance?" And like, look at how fucking well he does. So I think that one of the biggest things Wall Street is that there's a lot of ego um, in this space, right? You have a lot of people that really just think that their shit doesn't stink. I mean, hear me out, okay? And this is not to throw shade on anyone that's made like 60 grand, okay? But we had a dude come in last night who just straight up admitted, he's like, "I'm 18, I've made 60 grand, and I'm like the best trader in the world." And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, "Buddy, what you need to realize," and I wasn't trying to be a dick either. I was trying to put him on game. I'm like, realize that there are people in this server that I have been trading with for years that are literally multimillionaires. Like there is a lot more money in this room than most people think there is. Okay. So when someone comes in and they're flexing, oh well, I made 60 grand in a year in payouts from a prop firm. I'm just like, good for you. That's good money. But it doesn't make it so your shit doesn't stink, right? Like you're still fucking Joe Blow. You're Joe Blow who made 60 grand and has to pay 30 grand in taxes. Like fantastic. Good job. Good fucking job. You know, whereas what I think would be the right behavior, right? What would be the right behavior is to come in and say, "Hey, I've had some success. Like let me go and see what other people are doing and let me see if I could be more successful." And those kinds of people that can set that ego aside and that can remain disciplined and keep their head open and their mind open to learning new things, those are the people that are successful. Okay, I fucking promise. I fucking promise. Like I've been doing this for 13 years. Okay, I learn all the time. There's always something new to learn. Because some of the things that maybe I learned a decade ago, some of those aren't necessarily true anymore. Like I remember when all the AI startups were coming out in like 2017, and I was like, you guys are fucking stupid. I was like, this is going to be so far away. Like you have no idea how long you're going to wait. And it was a wait, but it wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be. Because what I hadn't counted on and what I hadn't thought about, because I hadn't seen it and I hadn't learned about it yet, is that AI models can be used to build AI models. AI was such a new space, like I didn't know that. You know, and obviously like hindsight is now 2020 and we could say of course it does that. But a decade ago, were we really talking about AI building itself? Fuck no, we weren't, dude. Fuck no, we weren't. When we were thinking of AI, you're thinking of like Cortana from Halo. Like you're not thinking of like true intelligence. So like I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying, like always keep your mind open. Realize that you are still just a person. Have confidence in what you're doing and have that confidence come from a place of knowledge and experience, not from a place of ego. That ego, I promise you, it will fuck you up. And then you will sit there liquidated, broke, and sad. Like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that thing that I did. Right? So don't be that kind of guy. I ended up having to kick that fucking guy out of the server. I really hate having to ban people, but that guy was super toxic and honestly, probably a little retarded. Because imagine walking into a room where you have again like literal multimillionaires and being like, yeah, I'm gonna flex my 60K. Like just realize who you're around. Like this isn't you know this isn't you showing off for your fucking girlfriend. Like just to hang the fuck out. Learn. And if you're not here to learn, like you're wasting your time here. Because that's what this place is about. It's about learning together. It's about finding success, and it's about getting that guidance with no bullshit and fluff and a bunch of emotions, right? Like this isn't necessarily about entertainment. Like there's a little bit of an entertainment aspect to these streams, but it's really minor, right? Like there's a reason that I don't have a camera pointed at my face and I'm making a bunch of goofy faces at the camera. It's because that's not important. I don't want you to pay attention to that. I want you to listen to the things that I am telling you. And when you don't understand them, I want you to ask questions. I want you to grow and be all that you can be. As long as that's what you want to.
There is a potential breakout building on US 30.
Oh yeah, a breakout. A breakdown or a break? Oh no, that's a breakout. Yeah, that's close. See, now this is something that I can get behind after all of that price action. This is potentially something I can get behind. Got to wait a little bit more. We'll see the confirmation, but you know, that's something I can get behind. NASDAQ, yeah, fuck that. This is cooked.
All right, invalidated.
That was quick. We were close though. That was a good call. Like that was a good call, right? Honestly, it was. Even if it got invalidated, like that was a really good call, and I'm glad that you brought that to my attention. Because I was busy on my tirade making fun of that fucking idiot that was trying to flex nothing. So maybe a face reveal. Maybe I'll do a face reveal for the Warriors. I could maybe do that. I don't know if you want to see that. I might be able to do that.
I want to keep using my eyes, bro.
I know, man. What you guys don't know is that I'm actually Terry Crews in real life. I'm a big old muscular black guy. I'm Terry Crews. I'm Terry Crews, bro. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not Terry Crews.
And also not black.
Too funny, too funny. All right, guys. Well, I think that this will probably be a good time to pause or to stop the stream for today. Again, Warriors, keep an eye out. See if anything is kind of going on. Make sure you guys aren't overtrading today. If you want to join us every single day here in the Fuck You Money Club with all of our Warriors, then please, please, please just sign up for the Warrior tier. Come hang out. We do this every day. Make some real fucking money. And don't try to flex your little account. Don't be that guy. Learn how to really do this shit. Yo, literally, that's me, Icarus. All right, guys. Everybody, I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. And I will see everybody later. Feel free to reach out with any questions. All right. See you guys. Cheers. Cheers.
Bye-bye.